Dear students, in the continuation of figure of speech, we shall take one more figure of speech of resemblance. Already we have discussed about simile, metaphor, personification, apostrophe. Now today we shall take conceit. Conceit is same like simile and metaphor, but there is a difference. uh, Two things are compared and two things are apparent. They are not similar. Dissimilar things are compared in conceit. So here is the definition. Conceit is a figure of speech in which two vastly different objects. In simile and metaphor, there may be difference, but little bit difference is there when we make comparison. But in conceit, there is much difference. Vastly different objects are likened together. They are made as same with the help of simile or metaphor. We use simile or metaphor, and using simile or metaphor, we compare in conceit, and there is a huge difference, apparent difference between two objects. So a comparison turns into a conceit when the writer tries to make us admit a similarity between two things. Comparison turns into a conceit when we compare using simile or metaphor. It becomes conceit. When does it become conceit? When to make us admit a similarity between two things of whose unlikeliness we are strongly conscious. We are conscious that both of the things that are compared are dissimilar. They are not same, and it arouses what? Surprise, and we are shocked when we notice conceit. Here are some examples of conceit. So, my life is like a free online game. So here is like is used. So you come on the conclusion that there is simile, but more than simile there is conceit, because life is compared with online game. So both are dissimilar things, apparently dissimilar. So here is conceit. Although there is simile, but more than simile there is conceit. So next example, for still thy eyes which I may call the sea. This is the line from Shakespeare's play Romeo and Juliet. For still thy eyes which I may call the sea. Here there is comparison of the eyes to the sea. So apparent difference is there. Next, twin compasses are two, and most of the conceits are used by metaphysical poets. So one of the famous metaphysical poet is John Donne. John Donne has used this line, twin compasses are two. You know compass, at one point they are same, but they have two legs. So twin compasses are two. Two lovers are like the two parts of compass. He used this line in the poem A Valediction Forbidding Morning. So life is like compass. Oh, not life. Lovers are like two legs of compass, and their heart is same, but their bodies are different. So he compares the lovers with compass, apparently different compass and lovers. So it is arising surprise. Last one more example. This filly is you and I. So this line is taken from the John Donne's poem The Flea. So this flea is you and I and you are this flea. So here you and I are compared with flea. Although there is metaphor, but here more than metaphor there is conceit. and these are marriage bed, though they are not marriage yet. So here is the use of simile and metaphor. But when these simile and metaphor are used or compared with the dissimilar, apparent dissimilar things, then that becomes conceit. So I think conceit is clear to you. Thank you.